you again on this great telecast. This is Rev.Dr. Gerald speaking to you wherever you're watching this great telecast, letting you understand the next phase of your life is closer than you can imagine. As you give yourself attention to this great telecast, an idea will drop in your mind that will bring a change. Today, I'll be talking about a book, and I believe this book is pregnant with the answers you've been looking for. The title of this book might be strange in your mind because a lot of people have lived with a picture of deliverance being just laying of hands. But I tell you, I'm coming with another dimension of deliverance which is very vital. And that's why I wrote this book, Mental Deliverance. I believe that the greatest deliverance a man would ever experience is the deliverance of the mind. The Bible says in the book of Romans chapter 12, verse 2, that we should not let the situations of this world nor the behaviors of men to influence us, but rather we should allow our minds to be renewed by listening to the message of God, that we might be able to do what is good, acceptable, and perfect. I came to discover that your mind can be clouded with ideas that can block you from moving forward. A man cannot be able to command or attract things different from the way they think. A man is a sum total of how they think. And I want to let you understand that a man can never be able to manage things above his mind capacity. And if you are listening to me right now, I believe that there is a particular mindset you are operating on that has become the greatest reason why your life cannot advance. And you need mental deliverance, because until the mind is liberated from a wrong notion, the mind cannot be able to produce the right results. Because scripture says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you are exposed to wrong thoughts, your life will produce wrong results. I came to talk to somebody right now who they are wondering why their life is just where they are, and they are aspiring to move forward in life. To let you know that a man who would move forward in life must be a man who has spent time to empower his mind with quality insight in line of their pursuit. And I want to let you understand the greatest problem you can have on earth is to have a wrong mindset towards a right pursuit. And if you are listening to me right now and you are aspiring to become great in life, then you must change your mindset. And today, I'm talking about this great book, and I want you to get it. And you must understand that the person talking to you is the author of 52 books. Books of inspiration, books in different aspects in life. And I've been pondering about a lot of things and got to discover the challenges that are plaguing our society. And I realized that there is a voice speaking in every man, which is a product of what? That which the mind has accommodated as ideas. And I tell you, the voice of the mind is stronger than whatever is your environment is demanding of you. There are people who can look at you and they're expecting something bigger than that which you can offer. And your life cannot offer something more than that which your mind has accommodated as understanding. In this book, there are things we will learn from that I think it will bring a transformation. And I want to talk to somebody whom I believe that this would be a stepping stone for them to evolve in life. If a quality in you does not resemble the breakthrough you desire, then you must understand that you can never achieve it. Hear me very well. I can desire to be rich, but if my mind cannot be able to produce riches, then I will never be rich. In other words, I'm saying that poverty is a state of mind. You can't think poor and act rich. In other words, I'm saying that sickness is a state of mind. Researchers have proven that about 85% of all illnesses are a product of what? Our thoughts. And scripture put it this way, as a man thinketh, so is he. What causes you to have malaria doesn't make everybody have malaria. What makes you to have the different illnesses doesn't influence everybody like that. In a nutshell, we have people who have lived their life for so long and they've not known sickness from childhood. And why the other people whom they go to hospital every month. And some, every year, they go to hospital. But I want to take you to a profound insight that will permit you to understand some things in depth. Men have a genetic constituent that determine how their body responds to different situations. And genetically, a lot of people have not understood the power of the influence of their genes. Genes by understanding, possess information in a particular pattern which exists at the center of its cell and they influence your behavior and the structure, which implies the genetic information in every person's body influences the person's behavior and the person's structure. And that's why a man who gets married to a woman who is a white, will have curly hair, genetical combination will cause the child to also have hairs that resemble the genetic constituent of the mother. Some people are wondering why their lives are manifesting particular behaviors they don't like. It is a transfer of what? A genetic negative pattern of information from one family to another, one generation to another. And sometimes when they lay hands on you and you have a relief, you feel it's over. But the same experience you had follow your children. So how can somebody have proper deliverance? And I came up with the idea of mental deliverance because I realized since this genetic transfer, which they call generational curse, which is negative, has not ceased from one generation to another, even after prayers, I got to realize that there is a need for us to get to the source, the root cause of this issue. And I realized that what our mind has been able to process, it's sent and transmitted in our subconscious mind, which it is deposited in what we call your genes. And now it governs your being. And I got to realize that if you take a pig out of the mud and put him white dress, you have not helped the pig. Because when the pig sees mud, it's going to go to eat. What am I saying? If your mind does not change, your life will not change. Let Archbishop Benson Dauza says, a lizard cannot become an alligator because he entered an aircraft to France. So, a fool in Cameroon would be a fool in America. A dog in Cameroon cannot become a lion in America because it has changed its environment. I've come to let you understand that if your mind does not change, even they change your position, you become a problem in that position. What is the essence of mental deliverance? Getting to people, getting to understand their mindset, and understanding the necessary influence which information in their mind is creating their life, and seeing how their minds can be reprogrammed by exposing them to positive information that have a stronger influence on the negative information that be inside of them, subduing it for a change. Now, if you look at it very well, we had ministers of God. We had a man called Jesus Christ. He was God, but he was in the form of human. He made great impact, trying to educate man on something. And there was a man called Nicodemus. He was also representing God. But his mindset about God didn't permit him to create a kind of result. What I'm trying to say is that the results of your life are relative to your mindset. Many of you are failing not because you are fashioned to fail. You're failing because your mind is degenerated. And you need mental deliverance. Being liberated from that state of mind that doesn't make you to advance. Watch what the Bible says. The Bible says, the weapon of our warfare, they are not carnal, but they are mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. Casting imagination in every evil thought that exalts itself above the knowledge of God. Casting what? Imagination. So the greatest demonic influence you have in your life is not one spirit with horns on his head called Satan, but imaginations and evil thoughts. So you can cast them, then you experience true deliverance. And that's what we call mental deliverance. Dealing with the ideas, wrong notions existing in you that are contrary to God's program for your life. Many people have been experiencing a particular challenge year in and year out. And the reason is because there is a particular mindset they possess that attracts a particular atmosphere, and their lives have not changed. Sometimes you give money to somebody, you feel you have helped the person, you have not changed the person. The greatest demon existing in a person is a wrong mindset. Casting imagination. Hear me very well. A man with immoral thoughts, even after prayed for, if the thoughts still exist, he will act like that. That's why a lot of people are in the church and they speak in tongues, but their emotions are gravitating towards lusting after some people. If those people will be properly delivered, you need to deliver them mentally. That's why there's a need for mind recreation, mind regeneration, for total liberation. And if you are watching this telecast right now, I tell you, the solution lies in this book, Mental Deliverance. Let me open the page in this book before I come to what I was saying. I said somewhere in the book, I said, it is practically impossible for a man to see the treasures wrapped in an encounter with a corrupt, polluted, perverted, and negative mindset. When a man is negative about an aspect in life, his vision about that aspect becomes blurred. What does this mean? If you are in front of an opportunity and all you see in that opportunity is a problem, you can never be able to benefit from it. Many people are there which, in their mind, they have cultivated an idea which is demonic. That idea is what? A man that is not from my tribe is not a good man. And sometimes the man who is going to bring the best out of your life is a man from your tribe. But with that particular mindset, it becomes a demon, denying the opportunity to get the best results in life. I'm talking to somebody right now which you don't know where your problems come from. The wrong notions in your mind that are governing and guiding you to wrong actions. The things you have rejected that would have made you so meaningful. The things you are running from that would have helped you. And I tell you, if you will be helped, you need mental deliverance. Dissuading yourself from the notions which can help you. Many things you are believing and they have not changed your life. You need to disbelieve in some of the things you have believed for so long that have not helped you. And that's why this book has been fashioned to unlearn you and relearn you with the right ideas that can make you to be more meaningful in life. So many of us need to be unschooled with the wrong ideas that have made our life to be so problematic. Unconsciously, we are a problem without realizing it. I tell you the truth, if there's a problem anywhere, it was caused by a human being. And if there's going to be a solution somewhere, it is a human being that will create that solution. And what must we do? We need to meet the same human beings which are problematic inclined, and we be able to help deliver them from the wrong mindset, the kind of mentality that makes them to be problematic, so the same people become of a blessing. I'm not going to go very far. I'll give you an example. The man talking to you. Some years back, I was a humanizer, wearing dreadlocks on my head. I felt I was living life. I felt I was pleasing myself. In the midst of that, hurting so many girls, hurting so many families, pushing some people into some kind of life. And at that moment, I didn't realize how bad I was because I was having fun. And while having fun, many people's children were exposed to dangers of immorality. Some became pregnant, some had HIV, some have died. Just imagine, if God did not save me, what a danger I would have been in the society. But the same man who was a problem, the same man was a humanizer. An encounter with information that reformed my mind gave me what I call mental deliverance. And that's why my life has become different. A lot of people are a problem in society, but they need mental deliverance to become a blessing in society. I've come with a change this generation needs. A bad society is a reflection of people in the society with a bad mindset. And until their minds are delivered from the wrong mindset and they are developed with the right mindset, we can experience change. I'm talking to you watching this telecast right now. You can become the change this world has never imagined. You can become that blessing your parents have never imagined. There is an opportunity for you to expose yourself to a truth that will bring a transformation. The Bible says, when you allow the mercy of God to change the way you think, then you'll be able to do what is good. Stop condemning the person around you, because the person's change is in this book, Mental Deliverance. As their minds are changed, they become changed persons. Somebody's asking, how does this change come? The Bible says the words I speak are spirit and life. Anytime a person spends time to hear words that are negative, these negative words will give him a negative life, because there is a negative spirit in negative words. There's a Bible says we must cast imagination and every evil thought that exalts itself above the knowledge of God. What is that thinking you have about that which you're pursuing? You are failing in that aspect not because you're cursed, but because you have a wrong mindset. And if you are delivered from that wrong mindset and you are developed with the right mindset, then distinction will come upon you. So the secret of coming out of disgrace to distinction is you exposing yourself to mental deliverance, which has to do with mind regeneration. Dissuading yourself, denouncing the wrong ideas and exposing yourself to the right ones. I don't want to let you understand that. Taking a man from a bad place to a good place, you have not changed the person. But changing a person's mindset, the person himself will leave the bad place to a good place. So you don't have a person by giving the person a good condition. You have a person by changing the person's mind. If you have not delivered the mind, then the man will still be a problem. I'm talking to somebody right now. You don't understand why your life is the way it is. Sometimes you blame your wife, you blame your children, and you have blames everywhere. But I tell you, sometimes the biggest problem you have is your mindset. A lot of people have been able to manage the things you call problem. And that same people are humans like you. This book has come for you so that you yourself will begin to manage the things around you and then begin to benefit from it, and your generation will celebrate you. I'm excited in my spirit as I round up this telecast. You get this book. My number is on the screen. You call on this number. Wherever you are in the world, I tell you, I will be able to respond to you directly. That's my personal number. And your life will not remain the same. For those who want to go through a school of mentorship where their minds will be modulated into the right frequency of change, they will call on that contact. And you want to get to me on my Facebook contact, then you can get on Dr. Gerald Ebile G. And I tell you, you are going to watch the great things that God is doing. And I believe that you are a candidate for distinction because so many people have been looking down on you because of the things your life is exhibiting. But change is coming because mental deliverance has come to deliver you from that page of shame and to usher you to the page of fame. You will be a candidate of celebration. This is Reverend Dr. Gerald talking to you. As I read this last quote, I want you to carry it back home from this book. A positive mentality apprehends life beyond situation and circumstance. With this mindset of approaching life, while others are crying about a particular challenge, you'll be smiling. Every page of this book is pregnant with something that can carry your life somewhere great. And that's why I want you never to stay out of this blessing coming your way. This book is a gift to you, to your family members, to those who you love. There is a portion of this book I want you to get. Resetting mental values. Resetting mental values is an aspect of this book I want you to get it. Because a man's value will determine the virtues he attracts. When you set the wrong value, you attract the wrong virtue. And I tell people that whatever is influencing you is that which you have high value for. If you reduce your value for anything, its influence over your life goes down. That's why a naked woman might not influence every man. A naked man cannot influence every woman. What influences you doesn't influence any person. What you don't see as valuable can never initiate virtue in your life. I came to let you know. Resetting mental values is one of the portions of this book, Mental Deliverance, that would be able to help you to get to a place of greatness. I speak to you, watching this great telecast, that your change is not very far from you. And I tell you, this is the time for you to rise up and pick up that which has been abandoned for a long time and move forward and make a difference. Wherever you're in the world, I'm ready to come right to your house. I'm ready to come to your company. I'm ready to come to your family. I'm ready to come to your church. I'm ready to come anywhere you find yourself to be able to introduce this idea that will bring a transformation so that growth will be experienced in whatever thing you do. God bless you. This is Rev.Dr. Gerald. I love you. Stay blessed.